You are listening to the Children of Film podcast.
We're a 1.5 hour long dick joke.
Hey. Oh, hey, Jaron. I didn't see you there. What say we record a bit of the old Children of Film episode 26?
Oh, well, that is quite a nifty idea. Let's press record and just jump right in.
Let's take a run at it.
Oh, hello, mate. And hello, everybody watching, apparently, because we're doing this.
I didn't see you guys there either.
With the curtain's been pulled back on me, Jacob. The curtain has been pulled back on me.
The curtain has been pulled back like the proverbial foreskin.
Oh, shit. It's all the way back, and so are we. We're back for podcast number 26. No, well, I mean, you could, I don't know, shove a hose at the nozzle and just like blow it up like a balloon.
All right, so let's get into our diary display, our segment when we talk about some of the films we've been watching recently. It's our first podcast of the year, and we're hoping it's going to be a big year, and a lot of things are going to change for us this year. I'm going to be moving and starting university soon, so that's pretty cool. And I was thinking I should do a movie night video before I leave, just to give a bit of a tour of my current setup.
Wait. Jacob doing a video for this channel that's not the podcast? What?
No way. Hey, man.
Are you sure?
I have another channel. I'm a busy man, an important man.
Another channel that you make 2 videos a year on?
Hey, I've made like 3 in the last 3 months. Like, I'm going hard.
Oh, shit. He loves it. Loves it. All right, yeah. Well, we're good to be back. I've had a good break. I'm starting university soon as well.
It's going to be an interesting year for both of us.
It is. We're going to try and catch up again sometime this year. Do some more videos together, some more reviews. We're going to try and do a film commentary together when we're there. So we want people. The
Snowman.
Oh yeah, the Snowman is one we're thinking of. So yeah, we need people to give us recommendations for that. But the Snowman seems
what
to
this
be
means for me. What this means for me is I'm going to be able to actually see everything when it comes out now.
Oh, he loves it.
And, so maybe I will start doing some more
so many advanced screenings.
Because I can actually go see everything. I'm fucking cheering.
Nice.
And get keen for the Children of Film Awards coming probably mid to late February. It's going to be a big one, you know. We've got the Academy fucking voting. I mean, me and Jaron.
By the WGA and PAG have got their awards out, and you know a lot of those members vote here as well. So there might be some crossover. Who's to say? We're going to be getting some guest announcers. Hugh Jackman was busy, so we had to get our mate Blake instead, but. You know, the compromise wasn't that drastic. They're on par.
Yeah, fucking Jimmy Kimmel's hosting.
Yes. Thank God.
Fallon
so much better
auditioned.
Fallon
auditioned, but as soon as we saw that Chastain and the Redmayne joke, we were like, nah, this isn't the show for you.
If Jimmy Fallon was all we could afford, we'd just not do the show, to be honest.
I'd rather get James Franco and Anne Hathaway to host it.
Oh, no, you can't do that. That's... no. Oh, no. I wouldn't do the show then either. Maybe James Franco this year and Anne next year, but just not together.
What movies have you been watching this year, Jaron?
Oh, I'll talk about it. The very first movie I watched all year was Chinatown. I wanted to start off with a classic. I recently bought the Blu-ray like a few days before on Boxing Day sales. And it's the classic, you know. It's Jack Nicholson. He finds adulterers for people who hire him out. And it was fucking fantastic. One of the best screenplays I've got to watch on the big screen in a while. The performances are so damn good. The twist at the end was incredible. Like, the ending is so satisfying and also so haunting, and I really love Chinatown. It's the best movie I've seen this year that isn't from 2017.
Quality.
I watched Jumanji and Downsizing at the cinema as a double feature. Jumanji, surprisingly, way better than Downsizing.
I too saw Jumanji. Should we jump into it a little bit?
Yeah, go on. Jumanji was fun as fuck, man.
Yeah, when the trailer came out, I was one of the big proponents saying, oh, this is going to be dog shit.
Agreed.
And, I had to eat that dog shit because I really enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, and I have no qualms with saying I was wrong. This movie was great. I'm glad it was great.
I would have eaten the dog shit anyway. But
and you did. You videoed me, didn't you?
Yeah. No, some school kids made me lick it. It was
oh, man. Now it's all in your belly, innit?
But yeah, no. Let me just say, Jack Black is the MVP. He's hilarious.
He's the best thing in almost everything he's in, and this is no different. He is funny.
And
he's
they all did a great job playing high school kids, except Kevin Hart, who did a great job playing Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he did. He wasn't actually too bad in this movie. I thought he's a bit annoying, but I thought he was all right in this movie. But he didn't play. I
liked him. I thought he was funny. What do you think of Downsizing?
I did not like it at all. It's so long. It's so boring. The first half of the movie is almost a completely different movie from the second half. They switch tone on you, and it turns into some like just out there kind of
how late
meandering,
into
pondering.
the film does he downsize?
Not too. Maybe 40 minutes.
So the tone changes after he downsizes.
But it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. No, it changes.
Bloody consistency.
It changes tone maybe an hour into it. Yeah, it's like a pseudo comedy almost about the like what downsizing can do for the Earth, and then it changes into some meandering, pondering, fucking bullshit. And I did not like it at all. The next day, I saw an advanced screening in my state for 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. And I don't want to give it away too much because it may be a precursor for the Children of Film Awards. But I will just say I fucking loved it, and it's one of the best movies I saw. That was 2017 release. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah. I've seen it twice now. I watched it this weekend for the second time. And I loved it a lot more this time, because the first time it threw me off a little because it wasn't really what I was expecting. But I think it's an incredible movie, and it's about it's a violent film, but in the end, it's not about it. I don't want to give away too much, but it's a very compassionate movie.
You never know where it's going, which is what I love about it.
And you never know where it's going. And Frances McDormand is incredible, and Sam Rockwell is incredible, and they are.
Woody Harrelson is incredible, and
Zechko Ivanek is incredible. I probably pronounced that name wrong, but
probably
All right, Kelly Landry Jones is incredible.
Creep 2 I watched.
And Mark Duplass has an incredible penis.
It's not bad. And I didn't really like Creep 2 that much. I thought the first one was great, and I thought this one was a bit of a letdown. It's fine, but it's nowhere near as good as the first one. I watched Breathless, the classic, and I didn't really like it because the plot doesn't really kick into gear until like 70 minutes in, and it's only like an 85-minute film. It's just pondering and learning about the characters for so long, but nothing happens, and you just lose interest in the movie by the time things start happening.
Yes, but Jaron,
it's fine. Yeah.
Is it Godard's film or Truffaut's film?
Oh, fuck, I don't know. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. All the Money in the World. I watched at the cinema, and
yes, as did I.
I really enjoyed it. It's a bit slow, but I did really enjoy it.
Plummer was great. Michelle Williams is fantastic. Wahlberg was good. It is quite boring for a lot of it, but when it really ramps up at, I'd say, about the halfway point, it is actually quite riveting.
Oh, yeah.
And they pulled it off, and I've got to commend them for that.
Yeah, and Christopher Plummer wasn't just a meme nominee as I expected. He was really, really good. I did a double feature of Horrible Bosses and Horrible Bosses 2 because those comedies are great, really underrated. The second one isn't as good as the first, obviously, but I think it's pretty underrated. It's really funny and rewatchable. Chris Pine's so funny in it. I watched Bone Tomahawk, one of my favourites. Craig Zedhaller is becoming one of my favourite directors. He is so damn visceral. Like, just the performance he can get out of people, and the world he immerses you into is just fantastic. I watched The Greatest Showman, which I did not really like. It's fine. All the music is pop ballads. They don't really tell you anything about the characters, which is what I prefer.
Yeah.
I watched The Lovely Bones, which is one of my girlfriend's favourite movies, and I really, really liked it. Everyone's great in it, except Mark Wahlberg. He's I don't know what he was doing. He's fine, I guess.
And we love Mark Wahlberg.
I love Mark Wahlberg,
this show.
yeah.
This is a Mark Wahlberg-friendly podcast. This
was going to be Ryan Gosling in the role until about 2 days before filming, where he dropped out and they just got Wahlberg in, so I don't really think he knew what was happening. I then watched our film swap, which we'll talk about later, and I started my MCU watch through on the Road to Infinity War with Iron Man, and it's the first one, and it's still one of the best. Jacob, do you want to go on with your diary display?
Yes, alright. I started my new year off right by rewatching some of my faves. John Wick, the first one. I love that movie. It gets better every time you watch it. I maintain that it's going to be a fucking classic of the action genre in 20... Like, people are going to remember it in 20 years, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's perfect. They just did everything right.
Yeah.
And I watched the second one right after it as well. I've been meaning to do the double feature, and they set the bar for how action should be shot in movies.
Absolutely.
Anything less than this, and you're being lazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That might be a bit harsh, but there's no excuse for this shaky cam cutting bullshit, because it's just so smooth and
in saying that, though, I like the Bourne films.
And since John Wick has a bit of cool car action, I then watched Drive, one of my all-time favorite movies. Gosling, angry autism car man, real human being. That movie's a meme, but it's genuinely one of my favorite movies of all time, and I'd never stop loving it. And the music is incredible. I think it's my favorite Gosling performance, and Refn will never ever make anything as good as it again.
Blue Valentine is mine.
Yeah, he's great in that too.
Yeah.
Lars and the Real Girl, I'll give a shout out too.
Oh yes,
great.
Yes, very underrated as well. Yeah.
So yeah, okay, I rewatched Wind River. I've been going through some of my favorites from this year and rewatching them. And it just, that third act, man, it fucking floors me. Like, I was in tears throughout the whole credits of the movie. And I'd seen it before. I knew it was coming, but it's just, that ending is incredibly fucking powerful. Without spoiling what it is. But, yeah, and it's just a shame that, big fat cunt Weinstein had to be attached to it, and it looks like people are forgetting about it. But mad props to Taylor Sheridan for getting Weinstein's name sort of scrubbed from the movie.
The whale not in the room.
The elephant not in the room. Yeah, we'll talk about the Globes in a minute, but yeah. Great movie. Really, I think it's better than Sheridan. I think it's Sheridan's best yet. I watched Jumanji, All the Money in the World,
it's Sheridan's
3 Billboards.
I would agree.
All in a row there. I also watched The Disaster Artist for the second time. Probably might be the funniest film of the year. The Chris R scene is amazing, and James Franco just took home a Golden Globe for it, which is very, very well deserved. He's incredible as Tommy. And bloody. And you know what I watched after that the next night? A theatre screening of The Room. That's my second one now.
You didn't even let me guess,
I just want to keep going to them. Oh shit!
Come on.
Yeah, I want to keep going to these. I want to become a veteran. I want to know all the dialogue and fucking yell it out and shit. Like, it's so much fun. Like, I'm going to try and go again next month. Call Me By Your Name, I watched again. I've already talked... A lot of this shit I've already talked about on the show. I watched a lot of this shit in the theatre for the second time. And, what can I say? One of my favourites of the year. Like Wind River, the third act just destroys me. I watched Seven Psychopaths because after Sam Rockwell won his Golden Globe, I was in a bit of a Sam Rockwell sort of mood, and that is still my favourite performance of his. And the graveyard scene, that is just is so chock full of memorable moments. It's one of my favourite scenes of all time. Who the fuck is that? It's the Viet Cong guy. He was hiding up a tree. He pulls out his nunchuckers, kills 2 of the bastards, and Colin Farrell's just like, nunchuckers are Japanese, and then he just keeps going and fucking ignores it. Just so many great moments.
What are we making, a fucking French film? No shootouts.
How about instead of the 7 psychopaths, we call it the 7 lesbians, and they're all disabled, and they all get over their spazzy shit, and they're really nice to everybody, and 2 of them are black. Yeah, so great movie, that one. Continuing my Sam Rockwell mood, I watched The Way, Way Back, one of my favourite coming-of-age films. I wish his character in that was my uncle. Steve Carell's first sort of foray into dramatic acting, and he was great. And I just relate a lot to the main kid, except in the end, I don't get the girl. But other than that, I relate a lot to him.
I mean, neither does he. He gets with her, but then he moves away.
Her.
Yeah, but he doesn't get her. He gets with her.
Yeah. Spoilers if you haven't seen The Way, Way Back.
Yeah, rip. Sorry, lads.
Still watch it. It's a fantastic movie. I watched our Film Swap, and then I watched another sort of classic with Cool Hand Luke. I've had the Blu-ray for a little while. Got around to watching it, and it was really great. Paul Newman is the man. I'm starting to see like a good few of his movies, and like he is just great in everything he is in. It's a little slow to start with, but it builds and builds, and you can definitely tell where this influenced a lot of the great prison movies of our time. There's a lot of stuff there, and there's a scene where he has to eat 50 eggs, and they're all betting on it and shit.
Nice.
And like it's absurd, but it's really funny, but it's actually intense. Like, you're genuinely concerned over whether he's going to be able to eat all the eggs or not.
Did he swallow a bottle of lubricant before that and then vomit the eggs on the crowd?
I think he swallowed some lubricant, but he didn't vomit the eggs.
No, what's the point?
But nice Stand By Me reference. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
But it wasn't eggs. It was a pie.
Wide load. Yeah, I know. Well, I couldn't. I'm not going to take too many artistic liberties, Jacob.
Also, Dennis Hopper and Harry Dean Stanton were like in minor roles in it, and I was like, hey, that's those guys. And I actually watched 2 movies that day with Harry Dean Stanton, but the other one's the film swap, so we'll get to that later. But no, Cool Hand Luke was great, and the ending was incredible. Alright, that's our diary display done and dusted. Now we're gonna get into some movie news. I'm gonna let Jaren take the wheel on that. But we've got a lot of award shows. Where are we starting?
Oh god, we have so many award shows. Okay, so we'll start with the SAGs, I guess. So this week we had the WGA, the SAGs, the BAFTAs, and the PGA nominees. We're not going to go through all of those because that would be boring as fuck for us and for you. But we're just going to go through a couple ones that were surprises, I guess. Just talk about some.
Just allow me to be an Oscar nerd for a minute and talk about the Ensemble Cast Award. So the nominees for that were The Big Sick, Get Out, Lady Bird, and Mudbound, and 3 Billboards.
That's
now,
like their best
historically, if you are nominated for that category, like to win Best Picture at the Oscars, you need to be nominated in this category. The only time in the last 20 years a film didn't get nominated for the SAG Ensemble and won Best Picture was Braveheart, back in 95, 96 or something. La La Land almost broke the curse, but didn't. Roundabout. Fucking. So technically, really, only one of these 5 movies can win Best Picture. If we're going
The Shape
by
of Water.
And it's looking like, Rip Shape of Water,
it's looking like 3
Name,
Billboards,
Dunkirk, etc. It's looking like it's between 3 Billboards and Lady Bird, in my opinion.
Mudbound won't get nominated, I don't think.
It's just because there's a lot of... No, Mudbound, I didn't even think it was that great. But Get Out should get nominated, and The Big Stick's like a 50-50 at this point, but I don't know.
It should get nominated, but it is a 50-50, unfortunately.
Yeah. But, it's because there's so much crossover between the SAG and the Academy. There's so many actors in the Academy, so if it gets nominated here, this is basically their Best Picture. So, anything else? Anything here that grabs you from the acting nominees?
I don't, Roman J. Ezreal Esquire is still in there apparently.
Yeah.
If he gets nominated for an Oscar, I'm going to kill myself because I'll have to fucking watch that boring movie. I haven't seen it, but I've already made my opinion up.
Apparently they fixed it because it screened at TIFF and apparently it was bad, and they edited it. And so maybe it might actually be decent, but I don't know. It just seems like that's because it's Denzel.
You can't edit a person's performance into being better. I'm sure he's great in it, but I don't really.
There were a couple surprises in Best Actor there. Instead of going with people like Tom Hanks and Daniel Day-Lewis, they went with James Franco and Daniel Kaluuya, which I think is really cool. And I think Daniel Kaluuya is almost an outside shot at getting an Oscar nomination if they decide not to go with Hanks or something.
Yeah. Well, if they didn't go with Hanks for Captain Phillips, then they could neg him for just about anything.
Yeah, it's like they don't like him for some reason nowadays. It's weird.
Who knows?
Yeah, but they went with both Harrelson and Rockwell from 3 Billboards for supporting. Now, for a while, I was thinking that if there was going to be a double nomination, it was going to be Stuhlbarg and Hammer from Call Me By Your Name, but it looks like this is like Harrelson's picking up a few, and he's almost an outside shot as well, and he's fantastic in it, which is really, really cool to see. Steve Carell got in there, and I'm glad they put him in the right category this time because he's not the lead; he's supporting.
Yeah.
I don't really care about the TV stuff, but all right, let's move on to the next one.
Sure.
Or we'll be here all day.
Let's go PGA. Producers Guild Award nominations. All the producers come together and vote for their favourite film, and we've got a few surprises here, namely in Wonder Woman and Molly's Game.
Yeah, now, I don't want to be the asshole who's constantly saying, oh, Wonder Woman's overrated, but come on.
Best Picture, really.
It's a good movie, but the third act is that bad that it just drags down the whole thing, and you can't help but feel like it's a good movie, and it is going to change the game when it comes to superhero movies. But it feels like that is why they're nominated.
I think it's going to
change
change
the quality.
I think it's going to change the game for women in superhero movies, but it does nothing to change the game for superhero movies in general. It's just a formulaic film.
In terms of the actual quality of the movie, it's nothing more than like your standard MCU fare, really.
Yeah.
If any comic book movie should be getting awards, it's Logan.
Yeah.
But they didn't go with it.
Oh well. We've got a few in this category. We've got a few regulars: Shape of Water, 3 Billboards, The Post, Lady Bird. But Molly's Game, like I said, I haven't seen it yet. It's not out here yet, but I'm super excited for it. Jessica Chastain, Aaron Sorkin, Idris Elba, Michael Cera.
That movie's actually gonna make me explode.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, we had Jessica Chastain spewing Aaron Sorkin like dialogue. Already in Miss Sloane,
and dude, that was a little too much for me. This, I could pass out in the theater.
Oh yeah, Aaron Sorkin's one of our favorite writers, as you can see. The Big Sick was nominated here, which I'm so glad about. It still has a shot at a Best Picture nominee. It's a dark horse, but I wouldn't say it's in the top 8 or 9. But it's a long shot, but it could get in there. And then you have your Get Out, Call Me by Your Name, Dunkirk, everything else that you'd expect to be here. And The Boss Baby, I just have to say, was nominated again, and I don't understand.
And Despicable Me 3 as well, over something like Loving Vincent.
God, yeah.
Which I thought was really good.
Yeah.
But at least they nominated Lego Batman.
Thank God. Alright, so let's move on to...
Yeah. Cool. No, nothing.
Let's move on
Writers
to...
Guild, real quick.
Writers Guild, yeah.
They did nominate Logan.
Oh, thank God. Oh God, I'm so happy.
That adapted list is really nice. Call Me by Your Name, which will hopefully and probably win the Oscar, because there's not a huge amount of competition. Disaster Artist, Molly's Game, which again we're very, very excited for, and Mudbound, which
I don't think deserves a nomination. But...
I don't think it was that. If anything, I would be nominating like Mitchell or Garrett Hedlund for supporting actor.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I don't think the movie.
Honestly,
was all that special,
I think that the screenplay was one of the weakest efforts, just because it relied a lot
so
on
much narration.
Yeah, but oh well, it's interesting. I'm just happy Logan was nominated. And in original screenplay, we have pretty much everything you'd expect: Shape of Water, Lady Bird, I, Tonya, Get Out.
Shit, I didn't know I, Tonya was written by Captain America.
Hey, Stephen Rogers, the writer of I, Tonya. That's amazing. Shit. And then we've got The Big Sick, which is written by Emily Gordon and Kumail Nanjiani, obviously, and I'm just so happy that is in there, because it's a bit of a push for a Children of Film Award. I mean an Oscar.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is your Oscar lineup. Yeah. I would think they sub out Logan for something else. I don't think they nominate Logan.
I think they'd sub out Mudbound for something else too. I don't think Mudbound's getting a nomination.
I mean, there's not a huge amount of competition in adapted. Like, I can't even really think of what else is there. But yeah, the original's usually the more competitive.
Yeah,
one anyway.
It was interesting that Shape of Water wasn't nominated in original as well. Oh, it was. My bad. Let's skip over that. That didn't happen. And let's go.
The BAFTAs!
It was at the very bottom and I didn't see it. We're just going to use the BAFTAs to gush over Paddington 2 again.
Yes! It didn't get nominated for Best Film, but it got nominated for Best British Film, along with 3 Billboards, Lady Macbeth, God's Own Country, Death of Stalin, which I have seen and it is hilarious.
The original
and
Paddington got nominated for Best Film. And this is Best, so you know.
Oh, did it? Yeah. No, it makes me laugh. 3 Billboards, set in America, Missouri, it's even in the name, is British film, but Dunkirk, which is very British, is not a British film.
Well, you know, British director, American director. Oh, well.
What?
Well, no, he's not British, he's Irish, but, you know, same place, whatever.
Nolan's not an American director.
What's Nolan? What is he? Where's he from?
He's British.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was 3 Billboards made in... How is it considered
I think
a
it
British
might
film?
come down. It might come down to how it was financed and shit. Because Three Billboards is like film 4 and stuff. Like it is still kind of British. Well, I guess Dunkirk was probably by an American studio or something.
But set
even though in
England
terms of the
by an English
subject
director.
matter,
Pretty good.
Dunkirk is a very British film, and
Oh,
Three
yeah.
Billboards is a very American film.
I love how the BAFTAs don't call it foreign film; they call it film not in the English language.
Yeah, cheers, lads. But what I like is the love for Blade Runner here.
Oh yeah,
They nominated Villeneuve for director, and then like basically all the tech categories. And I was going through all the tech categories the other day, and every category it's like Blade Runner, Dunkirk, Shape of Water,
Yeah.
Blade Runner, Dunkirk, Shape of Water, like every single one.
Film Stars Don't
which
Die in
was
Liverpool got
pretty
a
cool.
few nominations as well.
Yeah. Did that get Best British Film?
It got
or-
leading actor,
No, it didn't.
leading actress.
I will say
adapted
Jamie Bell
screenplay.
is amazing in it, and he totally deserves it.
Yeah,
And then,
have not seen it.
but supporting actor, man, they memed in Chris Plummer, except
Oh.
it's not a meme. And Hugh Grant gets
Hugh
nominated for
Grant.
Paddington 2, giving possibly the hammiest performance of his career. I love it.
I'm so happy Hugh Grant was nominated for
Like,
supporting.
That's so good.
Wait,
That's so good, man.
so here's your lineup: Woody Harrelson, Willem Dafoe, Sam Rockwell, Chris Plummer, Hugh Grant, Paddington 2. That's amazing.
I just want to say, guys, if you haven't watched Paddington 2, fucking watch Paddington 2.
It's so
alright?
good. People are just going to chop it up
I
to
will
it's a
make
kids
it-
film, but it's so
I will
good.
make it the official film of the Children of Film podcast, alright?
Hey, for this week.
Paddington 2. No, forever.
Forever,
Like 2 years
forever.
from now. Like, don't forget about
2019.
Paddington 2, lads.
Like, if we're doing this podcast like 5 more years, oh yeah, thanks lads, and don't forget to watch Paddington 2. Oh, people are going to get so sick of us, but fuck them. In the
Yeah,
words
Baby
of Ryan
Driver got a
Gosling,
couple
fuck 'em.
for editing and sound and stuff. Wolf of the Planet of the Apes gets 1 visual effects, which is
It's a
unfortunately
given.
all it's going to get ever.
Yeah, but it's
I'd be
pretty much a
nominated
given.
for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, agree.
Well,
maybe
alright, that's
Children
all
of Film will
sorry to
rectify that,
bore
who's
you
to
with our
say?
awards talk. Let's cut it there. We had some other news, but honestly, I don't really give a shit. Can we just go on to the rest of the podcast?
Yeah, I just want to say quickly that the Slender Man trailer is out, and they're about 5 years too late, first of all. And also, it just looks like shit. Not only is it like a Slender Man now, like, well, obviously, it's always been like a Slender Man kind of, you know, vague backstory. No one really knows much about him. But now he has like the power to make spiders come out your mouth, and I don't know. It just looks weird. And also,
I didn't watch it, but I agree.
Walter Hamada has replaced Jeff Johns and John Berg as the head of the DC film production, which I don't give a shit about because I mean Jeff Johns and John Berg didn't change anything, so I doubt this.
Remember
will
when
either.
Jeff Johns was going to save the DCEU?
2 years later, Jeff Johns has stepped down after more bad movies. Oh well, but yeah, you know, Marvel just gave me my paycheck, so I'm bagging on DC again. Let's go into our film swap, which if you don't know, if you're new here, our film swap is a segment that we do where each week I give Jacob a movie that I want him to watch or I've been begging him to watch for a while, and he'll give me one that he's been begging to watch for a while. Or one that we've just thought of on the spot because we ran out of movies. But who's to say?
I bet all 47 of our listeners are pretty tired of us explaining the segments in every episode.
Well, if
But
there's
we're
one
gonna
new
keep
listener
doing
each
it.
one, you know, it'll work. There's not, but if there was...
Yep.
Let's get into it. Alright,
Um,
alright. I went first last week, so this week you can go first. I gave Jacob... This is my favourite first-time watch of last year. Absolute favourite. I
Way
love
to set me up for failure.
every
Jim.
aspect of it. I think it's fucking phenomenal. And this is The Godfather Part 2, a movie I absolutely loved. Francis Ford Coppola's Best Picture winner. Jacob, what do you think?
Yeah, so it's one I've been putting off for a little while. I watched the first Godfather in like April last year, and I did quite like it, but I thought it was a bit of a slog, and I was like, man, I'm just not ready to watch the next one. It's like 3 hours and 20 minutes, and I'm like... But, you know, I'm glad Jaron gave it to me, because it did give me an excuse to actually watch it. And where do I even begin with this movie? There's a lot of stuff happens. It's 2 movies in one, basically. I don't know why I'm describing the plot like I'm telling all you guys when really I'm like the last cunt to see this, so I might as well not even bother. But it's like 2 movies in one. Vito Corleone is Robert De Niro, and he's got a prequel storyline. We see him and that was the most riveting stuff of the movie, especially at the start of him as a kid, learning how his parents were fucking killed and stuff, and then how he traveled to America and sort of slowly found his way into the crime game. And that was all riveting. De Niro is incredible in this movie, and I just wasn't a big fan of the sequel storyline. The sequel storyline is, Al Pacino as Michael, who is great, like, fantastic. Robert Duvall is great too. I really love to watch him in these movies. John Cazale as Friedel is really, he's the man, dude. Like, 5 movies, all Best Picture nominees, I think. Then he died.
Rip the big fella.
Yeah, but I didn't think the sequel storyline was as interesting as the prequel one. I thought it followed a lot of the same beats as the first movie. There's a botched assassinations, a montage at the end of everyone getting whacked. There's a sequence in Italy that happens, and although the Italy stuff in this movie was really good, I didn't like it in the first one. I'm rambling here, but yeah, basically, The Godfather 2, I was a little underwhelmed. I guess. Please don't revoke my film fan card for this, because I really want to love this, but I almost think this is more down to me than to the films, because I guess I'm not that big into gangster films. I felt the same way about Goodfellas. I kind of felt the same way about the first Godfather. Even just Coppola in general, I wasn't the biggest fan of Apocalypse Now. I loved the first half, but I didn't really like the ending. I just maybe think this sort of vein of film isn't really for me. I mean, I did quite like it on a technical level. It's a masterpiece. All the acting, the directing, the score is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Visually, it's beautiful to look at, but I just really, really struggled to get through this, and I didn't really care about any of the characters enough to fully get invested. Kind of the same as Goodfellas. Like, it's all good stuff, good dialogue, good cinematography, good directing. I didn't really care, and I guess that was the same case here. I did like it. I don't know if I could ever watch it again, but I'll probably.
At least you can say you've watched it.
Maybe 5 years later, I'll double feature him when I got a free day.
At least you can say you've watched it, though. See, that's like one of the biggest hurdles about these. You're like, 3.5 hour movie, it's going to be tough to get through. But when it comes up in conversation, you don't have to be that guy who's like, no, I haven't seen The Godfathers. Like, oh yeah, I've seen Citizen Kane, I've seen everything, but no, not The Godfathers. At least you've ticked it off your like bucket list, so to speak, because everyone's got to see The Godfathers.
There are plenty of 3 hour films that I think breeze by. I just think these ones were real bloody slogs for me, and I'm not sitting here like, I didn't love The Godfather too. I'm a fucking edgy cunt. Like, I'm sad that I didn't love it, but that's just the way it is. Alright, that's it for me. Jaron, I gave him the movie Milk, because it's just one that I watched last year and really liked it, and Sean Penn is phenomenal in it. What do you reckon, Jaron?
I just want to say that Sean Penn is fast becoming one of my favourite actors. Last year I watched Mystic River, and that's in my top 10 first watches of last year. I fucking loved it, by Clint Eastwood, and Sean Penn scared me in that movie. He's a tour de force in that movie, and this is no different. He's on the complete other end of the spectrum here. His versatility is incredible. I believe he won Best Actor for this, and it's 100% deserving. He is fantastic. I loved Milk because it went in a different kind of direction than your standard biopic. Like, Harvey Milk, if you don't know, is in the 60s or 70s. He was a gay rights activist, and he was basically seeking equal rights and opportunities for all the members of the lesbian, gay, transgender community. And it's like his love for the city as well, he doesn't want to leave the city, he doesn't want to go somewhere else where he can get better rights. He wants to try and change the city that he's living in. It's also about his life, how he went through multiple boyfriends, Emile Hirsch, James Franco play some of his boyfriends, they're both really good. As soon as James Franco popped up, I'm like, wow, he loves playing gay people, doesn't he? But, I think this is like the 3rd or 4th time he's... Yeah, but, and, it's just so good. It was just so captivating how this guy just stands through adversity because he's not accepted. Gay people aren't really accepted. It was still acceptable for riots to be applicable to, against gays, and, like, people would, like, no one would look down upon them. It was just the norm, which is pretty sad. But it's just, yeah, it was such a great movie. I love all the visual cues. Like, it, again, like I was saying, instead of going the regular kind of boring biopic route, it has him, like, kind of talking to the audience in narration. There's fun screen. Like, each time it skips a year or does something, there'll be, like, a fun little screen visual. And it was just so entertaining to watch. And really... I mean, I don't mind it when historical films take artistic liberty to try and dramatize the situation a little. I'm fine with that because it's a movie, not a documentary. But this movie was just so authentic to what really happened that I felt like I was watching something really fun while also learning a lot. And I really enjoyed it. Also, apparently Dave Franco's in this. I didn't see him, but apparently he is. Yeah, he's on the cast list. But no, I really enjoyed Milk.
Josh Brolin was really good too.
Josh Brolin was fantastic. He was nominated too. He was amazing. Diego Luna was pretty good for his small amount of screen time as well.
Wasn't he like the hell annoying character?
Yeah, and it was awesome.
The big man.
Yeah, Gus Van Sant directed Milk as well. It's a shame he hasn't done anything amazing.
Yeah, he's kind of fallen off a little bit these days. How about
Good Will Hunting is one of my favorite movies ever.
What was that hell shitty one he did?
He did the Psycho remake.
Nah, the Japanese suicide forest, the Sea of Trees. That was meant to be
the Sea of Trees.
Fucking garbage.
Yeah, with McConaughey, yeah, rip. But I mean, I'll always give him a shot because Good Will Hunting's in my top 50 movies of all time, and obviously I really loved him.
Sea of Trees, aka Logan Paul, the movie.
Shit, is that what it's about?
Yeah, it's set in the Japanese suicide forest. Jeez. And like they're both suicidal, and they meet, and then they try to get out.
Logan Paul is such
I haven't seen it. I remember I was excited for it, and then it premiered and just got fucking shat on, and then it didn't come out for like a year.
Yeah, let's not talk about Logan Paul though, because I'll just get angry. He's such a fuckhead.
Fuck that
dude. It's worse than what PewDiePie did, and he's not getting ostracized as much, which is
PewDiePie's was pretty funny.
It was pretty fun. I mean, you can't do that, especially when you got contracts with Disney and stuff, and your little kids look up to you. You can't say that shit, but
at least he didn't.
This guy did was
at least I don't like PewDiePie, but at least he kind of owned it. Like he didn't give us like a fake apology. He's kind of just like, yeah, all right, I'm that guy.
Yeah. Oh well, he's lost everything. All right, let's move into our top 5, and we've got a little audio cue. Jacob, roll it.
What's your top 5? Who's your top 5?
I may or may not roll it. Depends if I can be fucked.
We'll see, but I'm assumed it was just rolled.
You just heard it.
I'm assumed it just rolled, and how do you like that? I love it. It's going to be recurring. Hopefully, we'll see.
I'll probably forget.
Maybe not. You won't fucking forget. I'll remind you, you little wanker. Anyway, good movie, good clip. Let's do it. This is going to be top 5 anticipated movies for 2017. Just as a precursor. 2018. Fuck. I wrote 8. I wrote 17 on the plan. I keep forgetting this is the year we're in.
I know. Every time I go to write a fucking date, it's like I write 17. And it's the struggle is real.
It is. Now, anyway,
look, I think we've got a lot of time. I think we could even do a 10.
We could, but that's
or
not what
just
the
a 5 and a shitload of honorable.
Yeah, we'll just do because I've got like 15 that I want to talk about.
I've got
we'll
a
do
lot.
5 with.
I've got a list of like 30
mentions. Yeah,
but I just 30. But
I just want to say as a precursor, there will 100% be films I've forgotten about and films that have not even made their way to the public eye yet. Like Moonlight and shit didn't come out till no one even knew about it until like May of 2016.
But I think it'll be interesting to go back after this and look at how it turned out.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's talk these movies. So you've got a shitload. So do you want to go through your honorable mentions and go down to 5? Just rattle
I might
them
just
off.
do like 10 or so honorable mentions.
Go on.
All right, well, the Marvel movies, Black Panther and Infinity War, super keen for them. Black Panther looks like a real taste of something different, and Infinity War is just going to be everyone in one movie, and it's going to be orgasmic. And I'm not just talking about Chris Evans' beard. Ant-Man and the Wasp too, a little lower on the list, but I am keen for that as well. If Beale Street could talk, fucking Barry Jenkins' new movie. It's about a black man who's jailed for a crime he didn't commit, and it's about his wife trying to sort of get him free. Looks very, very good. Interesting to see what Barry Jenkins does next.
To Kill a Mockingbird 2.
We'll see. Dragged Across Concrete, new film from S. Craig
yes.
Zala. Dude, Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn playing two fucking cops who get suspended when they, like, you know, do police brutality or some shit, and then they sort of go into the... Like, it's gonna be awesome, dude.
Fuck yeah.
S. Craig Zala, the modern master of brutal violence. Like, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Alright. Widows, the new film from Steve McQueen. Best Picture winner Steve McQueen for 12 Years a Slave. I'm a huge fan of Shame. I'm not a massive fan of his other two, but I'm really keen to see what happens with this. It's about women whose husbands do a heist and they die, and the women are like, fuck it, we'll do the heists. It's something like that. I don't know. I'm mostly picking these because the directors, I don't really know the plot a whole lot. Okay, Where'd You Go, Bernadette? Richard Linklater's next film. I still haven't seen Last Flag Flying. I need to watch that. But it's... All I know is it stars Cate Blanchett and it's by Linklater, so it's on the list, you know? Like, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I have a movie called...
Kristen Wiig and Judy Greer, too.
Yeah, nice.
Lawrence Fishburne,
okay.
Yeah, it's got a big cast.
This is another one that's really here because of the director. It's called Hold the Dark, from Jeremy Saulnier, who did Green Room and Blue Ruin. And it's a child gets taken from his village by a pack of wolves. I'm just reading like IMDb synopsises at this point, but like yeah, it's about sort of... It looks like another sort of fucking intense sort of thriller type movie. Jeffrey Wright, Alexander Skarsgård, Riley Keough, James Badge Dale. Good sort of cast for this type of movie, and I'm keen to see what Saulnier does next.
And I will say, Green Room, Blue Ruin, and The Colour Purple, great trilogy.
Thanks, man.
It's alright.
Yeah, he should have done another fucking... Fuck you, Jeremy Saulnier. Okay, Incredibles 2 doesn't quite make my top 5, but it's my favourite Pixar movie, one of my favourite superhero movies. Very, very excited to see what Brad Bird does with this. I think he's the best director working within the Pixar system, and the fact that he finally feels that he has a story worth telling for it, I'm very keen.
John Lasseter says, hold my beer. Anyway, go on.
What didn't he get some allegations thrown his way, Jaron?
I don't recall that. Well, yeah, but you know, we'll see. We'll see how that shakes out.
Well, The Incredibles and Ratatouille are my two favourite Pixar movies. So, okay, this is one that's sort of on a lot of people's radars. Annihilation. I think it was originally going to come out last year, but Alex Garland's new movie. He's directing it as well. Natalie Portman's biologist. There's some spooky stuff, and it's coming to Netflix. But so that...
Oh, yeah.
It's not a great omen, but we'll see. Alright, a couple more honourable mentions. I know I'm going on for a while. The Irishman. Martin Scorsese's next film. Dude, De Niro, Pacino, Keitel, Pesci, Cannavale, Romano. You know, like, all the people you want in your bloody Scorsese movies. It's about a hitman. I don't really know much about it. I know it's a mob movie, so, you know, we know how I go with mob movies, but I love them occasionally, you know. I love Casino. I love shit like The Departed. So, you know, Scorsese knocks them out sometimes.
I don't get how you love Casino, but you don't love, like, Goodfellas.
I think Casino is I think Casino's a lot better than Goodfellas.
Yeah, I know, but I don't understand how that works. Anyway.
I don't know. I was more engaged with the characters and stuff. Yeah, but no, I'm very keen for The Irishman, and I hope it does well, because I don't want Scorsese to have another flop, because y'all betrayed him with Silence, and he deserves better. He's a master.
Shit. If you didn't see Silence in the film, if you didn't see Silence in the cinema, I'm just gonna blanket it. You're a piece of shit.
If you didn't see Silence in the theater, stop listening
everyone.
to our podcast now. We don't want you.
No, we want at least one listener, man. I think like 4 people saw it. You're alright.
Yeah.
To be fair,
my
it barely
last
went
honourable
anywhere.
mention, very ashamed to leave it off the top 5, is Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2. It's probably the superhero movie I'm looking forward to the most, because I just want to see what they do with it. I loved the first one. I don't really know the plot of this. I don't really need to know the plot. There is a synopsis they released, but I'm pretty sure it's a joke, which is pretty good,
so
though.
It's the first one.
And, yeah. But no, Deadpool 2, very, very keen. Although, my only thing is, I don't know how David Leitch is going to go directing, but we'll see. I didn't know how Tim Miller was going to go, and he nailed it.
True that. Alright, I'll rattle off some honourable mentions. Ant-Man and the Wasp and Black Panther, really keen for. The Meg, Jason Statham fights a megalodon that was accidentally unleashed after being frozen or some shit. A megalodon, if you don't know, is like a 100-foot shark or something like that.
That is either going to be shit or amazing.
Either way, I'm going to love it. It's definitely going to be shit, but I'm going to love it. Mission Impossible 6. I love this series.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm really keen.
4 is in my top 50 movies ever, and I love number 5. Also, I love number 3 and number 1. Number 2 is fine. Number 1's actually kind of fine as well. It's not that great. Wildlife. Wildlife stars Jake Gyllenhaal and it's Paul Dano's directorial debut. Yeah, boy. Wildlife looks...
very keen for that.
Wildlife looks amazing, yeah. Venom. I'm so keen. I know it's Sony and we know how they go with their movies, but I mean it's Tom Hardy. I always love Tom Hardy, and it just looks like and it's R-rated, and it just looks like they're going full comic book. Like Venom looks amazing so far. All the material they've given us so far looks great. This is one I'm shaky on, but I am excited.
I'm not getting my hopes up for it. Like, of course I want it to be good, but I don't want to get my hopes up and have them crushed. Like, I don't want Sony to let me down again. So I'm just going to have no expectations.
Where'd You Go, Bernadette? Is one I'm really keen for. The Sisters Brothers is one I'm really, really keen for. It's like a gold prospector played by Carol Kane is chased by this like infamous duo of assassins. They're brothers, and the brothers are Jake Gyllenhaal and Joaquin Phoenix.
What?
And
why have I not heard of this?
John C. Reilly's in it as well, so is Riz Ahmed.
Nice.
And it's it's set in the 1800s, and it's a gold prospector being chased by Jake Gyllenhaal and Joaquin Phoenix. It's going to be amazing. And it's like it's a western comedy. It's going to be fantastic. Deadpool 2 I'm so keen for as well. I'm really keen for Cable to be in it. The Predator, Shane Black's going back to Predator. It's got
Great
Jacob
cast.
Tremblay. Yeah, the cast is fantastic. And I love. He can do no wrong. Iron Man 3 is all right. It's not bad, but his other movies like The Nice Guys and the Robert Downey Jr. one, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, they're both great. So I'm really keen for this. And then I'll add another one, and this is The Old Man and the Gun. The Old Man and the Gun is David Lowery's next movie. I love him. A Ghost Story is amazing. I've been needing to watch Ain't Them Body Saints. And I just...
Is that Casey Affleck again? Or?
Casey Affleck, yes. And it's also got Sissy Spacek, who would you know from the original Carrie. Robert Redford plays the old man, and then I'm pretty sure Casey Affleck's wife is played by...
I thought Redford was retiring.
Nope, he's in this apparently, so...
Fair.
And Elizabeth Moss is in it, and I love her. I've recently been watching A Handmaid's Tale, and... She just won a Golden Globe for it, actually, and she is fucking fantastic in it. I've always thought... She
smashes TV.
Oh, yeah. I've always thought she was a great actress, but she's just blown me away lately, and I'm really keen to see what she can do. Also, it's got Danny Glover, and who doesn't love Danny Glover? And they're my honorable mentions. So let's go into my top 5, and my first one is going to be one you already talked about, and this is Dragged Across Concrete.
Actually, wait, none of your honourable mentions were stuff in my 5, so that's good.
Cheeky.
Not a lot of crossover yet.
I probably forgot about most of them, or don't know about them. But
dude, well, you had like 4 that I totally forgot.
Exactly.
I have heard of Old Man and the Gun, I just forgot about it.
Dragged Across Concrete. I'm so fucking excited for David. I've already talked about Zala on this podcast so far, because... fucking Bone Tomahawk, I gave a 4.5 out of 5. I fucking love it. He is the master, like you said, of brutal violence. Bone Tomahawk is no excuse, and neither is Brawl in Cell Block 99, which may or may not be in my top 10 movies of 2017, maybe showing up in Children of Film, who's to say. But I love both of them. 4.5 out of 5 for both of them, and I have no doubt for this one either. And also, I love Mel Gibson. And did you say it was Vince Vaughn as well?
Yeah.
Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn together in this hard drama action.
Dude, honestly, just judging from the plot, I think it's going to be his best movie yet.
God.
if he nails it, this could be something special.
If he nails it, I think he's going to start appearing on more people's watch list, because he should be already, but this is going to Send
He's
him
been
off.
on mine since Bone Tomahawk came out.
Absolutely love that film. All right, you want to go your number 4?
I haven't even done my number 5.
Shit, go your number 5.
All right, we've switched order. All right, my number 5 is Adam McKay's Backseat.
Fuck.
This looks awesome, dude. It's about Dick Cheney, one of the most powerful and controversial vice presidents in history, and I don't really know a whole lot about him, so I'm keen to learn a lot. Adam McKay seems genuinely interested in the stories he's telling. I got that from The Big Short. I think he genuinely wants to fucking
Christian Bale's
tell
Cheney,
these stories to people and get him out. Bale transforming into Cheney. Amy Adams is playing Lynn Cheney, and I love her. Dude, Steve Carell's there. Dude, Sam fucking Rockwell is playing George W. Bush.
That's
this
amazing.
movie is gonna be incredible. Like, at first you're like, but then you think about it and you're like, no, this could be something special.
I know.
Him playing Bush.
This is another one. I know about Backseat, and I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, I only just remembered it a few days ago. But dude, if this is anything like The Big Short, like, I am very, very keen. Also, Tyler Perry's in it, so could we see another Gone Girl type role from him?
Who's to say? Hopefully.
Yeah, no, this looks great.
All right, I'll go into my number 4, and this is The Incredibles 2.
Nice.
I am over the moon keen for Incredibles 2. I saw it in 2004 when it came out. One of my favourites as a kid. I was like 7 or 8. One of my favourites as a kid. And still one of my favourites. I didn't watch it in a few years. I watched it last year, and I've watched it twice since. It's fucking fantastic. There's so much things you pick up on it each time you watch it. So much dialogue you understand that you didn't get when you were a kid. Like, they're mugging him outside. Well, let's hope we don't cover him. Like, there's just so much stuff that you wouldn't understand. That I love it so much. The family themes. It's still one of the best superhero movies we've got, and I agree that Brad Bird is one of, if not the best director working within Pixar. Even if he's not that great at live action, Tomorrowland is But I know you like it. I'm so keen for this.
Yeah. Alright, what is my number 4? My number 4 is The Nightingale, the next film from director Jennifer Kent, who you might know from directing The Babadook. One of the best horror movies of this decade so far, shot in my own home state. And this looks cool, dude. It's set in like the 1800s, like early sort of settlement of Australia, about an Irish convict, who I'm assuming is played by Sam Claflin. He's on the cast list. About an Irish convict chasing a British soldier through the Tasmanian wilderness, trying to get revenge for some act of violence that happened in the past. And there's an Aboriginal tracker helping him out, but I've always been sort of interested in that time period, and I think Jennifer Kent, if she does go in a sort of horror or thriller direction with this, I think that is a very, very scary setting, a very intense setting. And we don't get a lot of movies about the old days of Australia, so I'm very, very interested to see what they do with this, and just solely based on Jennifer Kent, I'm curious to see what else she can do.
Oh yeah. All right. My number 3. My number 3 is going to be Damien Chazelle's First Man. It's by Whiplash, La La Land. The dude. He's on everyone's watch list, and this is his movie about Neil Armstrong, and Ryan Gosling's playing Neil, and that's all you need to know. That's all we know so far, and that's all you need to know to get you freaking excited for this film. I'm so keen to see what he does visually with this story. I'm so keen for the performance. I feel like this could be an Oscar player, and yeah, it's just going to be fantastic.
Yes. My number 3 is a movie, and I just saw the full trailer for this on the big screen the other week, and it looks awesome. Wes Anderson's Isle of Dogs.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks crazy, dude, and literally everyone's in it. I would tell you the cast,
Everyone.
but it'd be easier just to tell you that everyone's in it. Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Liev Schreiber, Bill Murray, Bob Balaban, Jeff Goldblum, Scarlett Johansson, Tilda Swinton, Greta Gerwig, Frances McDormand, Courtney B. Vance, F. Murray Abraham, everyone, Harvey Keitel, fucking everyone, Yoko Ono, fucking everyone is in
that
it.
guy, nice. If they've been in a Wes Anderson movie, guess what? They're in another one.
This looks like something we have never seen before in terms of animation. With Wes Anderson's skill at using miniatures in his films, an entire film based on stop motion, it looks incredible.
What,
it's
Fantastic Mr. Fox?
I mean, yeah, man, fucking. But this looks out there, dude. I've seen Mr. Fox; it's fucking great. But this looks really out there, like sort of science fiction, dystopian future type shit. It's this island where all the dogs are sort of banished to. It's basically a garbage dump, and this kid has to go there to find them. But it looks, I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but it looks crazy, and I am very, very excited.
Excellent. My number 2, because I'm not crazy, is The Irishman.
Nice.
This is Scorsese. He's doing it with Netflix, I believe, and this is something that is going to be just, I feel, a modern classic. You know, he's got everyone back, like Jacob said. We don't know much about it, although it's like a mob tale. I think Robert De Niro is playing the Irishman, which is weird because he's not Irish, but
Jimmy Hoffa.
Who's to say? I'm just so over the moon, because Martin Scorsese is probably my second favourite director of all time. I love everything he's done, except maybe Boxcar Bertha. That's, you know, that film's a bit weird, but
that was not good.
It's no, but oh well. He's ever since then he's done nothing but fantastic stuff. You know, look at the movies he's made since 2000. Like, you've got fucking Hugo, you've got your Silence, you've got your... I really think that Shutter Island is underrated. You've got probably my favourite Scorsese movie, and that is The Departed. He's just a master of his craft, and he's getting up there. He won't be making too much more movies, which is a sad, mean thing to say, but you know, the dude's almost 90. You know, I think I could be completely wrong, but you know, he's getting up there, and to still be making movies of this caliber at his age is incredible, and I'm so unbelievably keen for this, especially because like Pesci's coming out of retirement. They're all getting back together. It's the Goodfellas band back together. It's going to be amazing. Or it could be like Las Vegas, where it's just kind of sad to see them doing this thing on the screen, but I'd like to think it won't be. Alright, you're up.
Yeah, I'm just yawning. Settle down. Alright, my number 2 is a movie that we thought was going to come out last year and then didn't, and that is Mute by Duncan Jones. There's a main reason I'm excited for this. I mean, I love Duncan Jones. Sure, he made Warcraft, which was not good, but, you know, Source Code and Moon are fantastic films. Moon is one of my all-time favourite sci-fi films, and that's the reason I'm excited for this, because he said it is, in a way, a spiritual sequel to Moon, wherein, like, it could be set in the same universe or something. In some of the concept art, there's been, like, you know, Free the 156 posters, which is, like, in reference to the Sam Rockwell clones and shit. It'd be cool to see if he cameos in this. I don't know if he will in some way or another, but it's set like 40 years in the future.
Spoiler alert for Moon as well.
Yeah, come on, man. Came out like fucking 8 years ago.
No one's seen it. It's small as fuck, though. Oh, well.
Ow. Nah, it's like, you know, there are clones. It's like, you do find out pretty early in the movie, so...
Yes.
But yeah, it's set in Berlin. Alexander Skarsgård plays a mute bartender, and he's searching for something. That's all I really know. Paul Rudd's in it. Justin Theroux's in it. And really just anything to expand upon the Moon story, and I am fucking there. And yeah.
Nice. And my number 1 is going to be a pretty obvious one, and this is Avengers Infinity War. Everything's led up to this. We started the Marvel Universe 10 years ago. I watched through again today. And just the amount of emotion you have connected to all these characters finally coming together. The Guardians meeting up with the Avengers. Everyone coming back to play. You know, we get to see Thor come back and Hulk come back and see all of the original Avengers after 3 years of being separated. We get to see everyone meet, and the big bad Thanos, who's been teased for 6 years now, is getting off his ass and doing something, and he looks scary in the trailer. He looks like he's one punch killing whoever the fuck's in that Iron Man suit, collecting all the gems, and I feel like Marvel know that they have a villain problem, and I feel like they're going to rectify that with Thanos. He's going to do some damage, and my top 2 favourite MCU movies are by these guys who are directing this. They're Winter Soldier and Civil War are my 2 favourite MCU movies, and they're both by the Russo brothers, which is why I think that this is going to be incredible.
You'd hope it'd be the best Avengers movie.
I feel like it has a chance at being the best MCU movie yet, honestly, yeah. If this movie was 5 hours long, I would watch it multiple times in the theater. I don't care. Honestly, the longer the better for this movie. I'm just so keen to see everyone interact. The interaction, just when all you want to hear in an action movie is in an action movie, when all you're keen for is the interaction of the characters, you know you've set up this universe well, and I'm just keen to see everyone bring their game to play. This is going to be one of the biggest movies of all time, and I know I'm a fanboy. I'm owning it. I'm so fucking excited for this. It looks incredible.
Fair play.
Yeah.
I'm very keen for it too. I just think the trailer didn't hype me up as much as I thought it would, but I'm still really excited.
Cap with a fucking beard.
I mean, yeah, that was the highlight.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, come on. My most anticipated of this year is First Man. I mean, come on. It's fucking Damien Chazelle. That's all you need to tell me. That's like, you could say there's this movie and it's just about a guy taking a shit for fucking an hour and a half. It's just a guy sitting there squatting and just like he's trying to get the shit out and it won't come out and he's like, ugh, like he's really working. And you tell me the plot and I'm like, I don't know. It sounds like it's sort of artful, and they're like, it's by Damien Chazelle. I'm like, fuck, it's gonna be. I'm there. It's Damien Chazelle. He's the man.
It's done.
He's the man. That's all you need. Great cast. Ryan Gosling, Cole Chandler, Corey Stoll, fucking John Bernthal. Like John Bernthal and Damien Chazelle. Like sign me everything about this movie
John
says sign me the fuck up.
getting around with these directors now. Edgar Wright. He's
building. He's networking.
What a freaking Martin Scorsese.
Yeah. But yeah, no, very, very keen First Man. I mean, if it was any other director making a Neil Armstrong biopic, I'd be like, yeah, all right, it's probably be okay. But this Chazelle, I'm like, okay, how many Charlie Parker references is he going to put in it? Is there going to be any jazz music? Like
many.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's in each movie, there's always like a different reason for why they called him Bird. What's it going to be in this? Like Charlie Parker always dreamed of going to space. That's why they called him Bird.
I reckon it'll be like Charlie Parker is medically diagnosed rough skin on his face, which makes it look like he has a beak. It's a rare disease, and that's why they call him Bird. Who's to say, you know? It's out there. We'll get a crazy-ass theory.
I'm pretty sure Justin Hurwitz is doing the music for this again, so, you know, it'd be cool to see him play around with space.
Justin Hurwitz was sorely missed from The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, like, that was the problem. I mean, I'm sure the lyrics and the songs were good, but it was like, they were just so generic. Like, anyone could, like, it's just fucking, yeah, that.
Yes.
Yeah, but First Man, very, very, very hyped.
Oh, yeah.
And there'll be other stuff that we find out about it that will be like, ooh, looks very good.
Yeah, we've definitely missed stuff.
As of the start of the year,
coming out, but yeah.
I'm just going to rattle off like a bunch more honorable mentions, like without even talking about them, just fucking to describe stuff that I'm looking forward to. The New Mutants, The Little Stranger, Ness, Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ready Player One, Fahrenheit 451, X-Men Dark Phoenix, Pacific Rim 2, The Favourite, and yeah, I'll stop there before I'd get into like Han Solo territory.
Oh god, no. Back up, we've reversed. We've gone the other way.
Yeah, no, that's a movie that I'm anticipating, but not for good reasons.
Yeah, no, I'm keen. I'm actually just keen to see how it turns out. I don't care if it's bad or if it's good. I want to see how it turns out, to be honest.
Yeah. But I just will say about when I mentioned The Favourite, I just want to say it's Yorgos Lanthimos directing Emma Stone. I'm intrigued.
Hopefully she lies on a bed naked, like diagonally.
Jaron, that's never going to happen.
Oh, we'll see.
We have to give up our dreams.
But, no, this has been the Children of Film podcast. Thanks for listening if you've made it this far. Remember to like, comment what movie you want us to do a commentary on when we get there. Comment whatever the fuck you want.
No, we're doing it. We're going to make it the next Cult Bad movie.
Oh, yeah. Wait, it's happening. Comment Jacob also has a tiny penis. If you've made it this far, just so we can see. Yeah, like, share, tell one friend about the podcast, and you know that'll help us out a lot.
What did we learn today?
Let's do things we learn on the podcast. First of all, I'm gonna say that Damien Chazelle has to film a movie about some guy taking a shit for 90 minutes.
No.
I'll add that. We've learned that. What else have we learned?
Fuck, I don't. I mean, I think we learned this a couple episodes ago, but Paddington 2 is great. Watch Paddington 2.
Oh yeah, Paddington. That's definitely one we've learned.
What I learned is whoever designed the poster for Ready Player One should never work in Hollywood again.
Leg. So long.
Long leg.
I am
long
leg
boy.
God. And Craig Zalaha is going to be a director to look out for, a lad as well. Everyone should be looking out for him, and go watch his other movies if you haven't. If you're squirmy on violence, yeah, good luck.
Also, we hate women and black people because the only movies we
Jesus.
protested getting nominations were Wonder Woman and Mudbound.
Yeah, very true. Apparently, so no, I'm keen for Lady Bird, and also Detroit. It sucks Detroit's not getting any love. Also, we love Get Out, so there's exceptions to the rules.
Some of my favourites of the year have female leads. All right, settle down.
Yeah, just not Wonder Woman or Mudbound. But
yeah,
so you didn't learn that. You already knew it. No, it's not true. It's not true.
No, it just came to me. Oh, just that, how we were talking about. It's like, really, those are the only two movies I was strongly protesting.
I'm
against.
so glad
prick.
I'm so glad this podcast doesn't have a big following, because we would have so many people hating us. Like, so many reasons to shut this channel down.
There's a movie I haven't even
honestly.
seen. I don't want to get nominated for awards. Is The Post? It's just because I don't know. It pisses me off for some reason. It looks good. I'll probably like it, but I'm like, ugh, Meryl Streep, Spielberg, like, of course.
But Hanks, baby, my Hanks.
I mean, Hank. That's why I didn't include Hanks, because he is my guy.
Exactly. You can't include Hanks. All right, guys.
I love Spielberg too.
I love
Bridge of
film.
Spies was underrated as fuck.
Oh, so good. I love film. Jacob loves children. This has been the podcast. Bridge of Spies is underrated. Thanks
That's
for listening.
Another thing we learned.
Yeah, we did
2
learn
years
it
ago
right
when
now.
it came out.
But you're learning it now, because I bet you listening haven't seen it. Go watch
All
Bridge of
right,
Spies.
peace, boys.
Au revoir, les enfants.
Au revoir, Shoshana.
Shut up. Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz. Fuck off. It's been a long podcast. It hasn't. Goodbye.
You've just listened to the Children of Film podcast.
Man, it sucks to be you.